My name's Bonnie, and I was 17 when my parents sat me down and told me I wasn't worth investing in anymore. "We need to talk as a family," Dad said, gesturing to the dining table where Mom and my younger brother Marcus were already sitting. I sat down, confused. "What's going on?" Dad cleared his throat. "You know the business went under last month. We've been trying to figure out how to handle everything financially." "I know. I offered to get a job after school." "That's not enough," Mom interrupted. "We've made some difficult decisions. Marcus has 2 more years until college, and his grades qualify him for academic scholarships. We need to focus our resources on maximizing those opportunities." I looked at Marcus. He wouldn't meet my eyes. "What does that mean exactly?" I asked. "It means we can't afford to send you both to college," Dad said. "We're pulling you out of Lincoln Prep and enrolling you in the public school for your senior year. Marcus stays at Lincoln. His GPA and extracurriculars there will secure scholarship offers." My stomach dropped. I have a 3.8 GPA. I'm captain of the debate team. "Which costs money we don't have," Mom said sharply. "The tournament fees, the travel, the private coaching, it all adds up." "But I've worked for 3 years building that." "Marcus's opportunities are more concrete," Dad said. "He's already being scouted by universities. You're good at debate, but that's not a career path. We have to be practical." I turned to Marcus. "Say something." He finally looked at me. "I didn't ask for this, Bonnie, but they're right. My scholarships could cover everything. Your debate stuff is just extra." "Extra?" My voice cracked. "I've won state championships." "Which don't translate to scholarship money," Mom said. "We've done the math. Marcus's path makes financial sense. Yours doesn't." "So I'm supposed to just give up everything I've worked for?" Dad leaned forward. "You're supposed to understand that families make sacrifices. We're all struggling here. Marcus is willing to take on the pressure of being our success story. You need to support that." "By disappearing?" "By being realistic," Mom said. "You can finish high school at Jefferson Public, get a part-time job, help with household expenses. When Marcus gets his scholarships and we're stable again, we'll revisit your college options." "That's 2 years from now. All the application deadlines." "We'll still be there later," Dad said firmly. "This isn't a punishment, Bonnie. It's triage. We're bleeding money. We save what we can save." Marcus finally spoke again. "I'll help you later, Bonnie. Once I'm set up with scholarships, I'll—" "You'll what? Share your dorm room? Split your meal plan?" I stood up. "This is insane. You're choosing between your kids like we're investments." "We're choosing survival," Mom said coldly. "Lincoln Prep costs $18,000 a year. Jefferson is free. Your debate expenses run another $5,000 annually. Marcus's track record justifies continued investment. Yours doesn't. That's not favoritism. That's mathematics." "I can't believe this." "You're 17, Dad said. "You'll understand when you're older. Sometimes parents have to make impossible choices. We're doing what's best for this family's future." "You mean Marcus's future?" Mom stood up. "We're done discussing this. You're enrolled at Jefferson starting Monday. Your room at Lincoln has been cleared. This is final." I looked at Marcus one more time. He looked guilty, but he didn't object. That's when I knew. He'd agreed to this before they told me. Jefferson Public was exactly as terrible as I'd imagined, but that wasn't the worst part. "Mom, I need $40 for the college fair registration," I said 2 months later. She didn't look up from her laptop. "We don't have $40 for non-essentials." "It's a college fair. It's literally about my future." "Your future can wait. Marcus needs new running shoes for track. Those are $300. I stared at her. $300, but you can't spare 40? "His track performance affects scholarship offers. Your college fare doesn't change anything right now." That night, Marcus knocked on my door. Hey, I'm sorry about the college fair thing. Are you really? He sat on my bed. I know this sucks for you, but Mom and Dad are barely holding it together. The house might go into foreclosure. They're drowning. So I should drown quietly? I'm trying to help everyone. If I get a full ride, that's $50,000 a year they don't have to spend. That money could save the house, could help you later. Later. Everything's always later. 2 years, Bonnie. Just 2 years. Then I'll be set and we can focus on you. I wanted to believe him, but I'd seen how they looked at him versus how they looked at me. Investment versus expense. 3 weeks later, everything changed. Bonnie, we need to talk, Dad said when I got home from my cashier job at Save Mart. They were both in the living room. Marcus wasn't there. What now? I asked. Mom's face was tight. We're selling the house. We found a 2-bedroom apartment across town. It's all we can afford. My blood went cold. 2 bedrooms? Marcus needs his own space for studying, Dad said quickly. His academics are critical right now. You'll take the couch. The couch? It's temporary, Mom said, until we stabilize. How is this temporary? You're selling our house. We have no choice, Dad shouted. We're 3 months behind on the mortgage. It's sell now or lose it to the bank. And Marcus gets a bedroom while I sleep in the living room. He needs quiet space for his scholarship interviews, Mom said. You understand how important this is. Something inside me snapped. No, I don't understand. I don't understand how you look at your 2 kids and decide one deserves a future and one doesn't. That's not what we're doing. Yes, it is! I was shaking. You took me out of my school. You stopped my activities. You ignore every single thing I need, and now I don't even get a bedroom? You're being dramatic, Mom said. It's just sleeping arrangements. It's not! Tears were streaming down my face. It's everything! You've decided I don't matter! Dad stood up. You're 17 years old. You don't understand adult decisions. We're trying to keep this family from complete collapse. By sacrificing me? By prioritizing what works, Mom yelled. Marcus is our shot at stability. You need to accept that. I looked at them both. Really looked at them. And I saw it clearly. They'd already written me off. When do we move? I asked quietly. 2 weeks, Dad said. I nodded and walked to my room. I had 14 days to figure out my life, because they'd made it clear I wasn't part of theirs anymore. I called my Aunt Teresa that night. Bonnie? It's late, sweetie. Everything okay? Can I live with you? Silence. Then, what happened? I told her everything. The school change, the money, the 2-bedroom apartment. Those idiots, she breathed. I knew your dad was struggling, but I didn't know they were doing this to you. Can I stay with you? I'll get more hours at work. I'll pay rent. Stop. Yes, you can live here. No, you're not paying rent. You're finishing high school properly. They're going to be angry. Let them be angry. I'm your father's sister, and I'm ashamed of him right now. Pack your important stuff. I'll pick you up tomorrow. When I told my parents the next evening, Mom's face went purple. You called Teresa? You went behind our backs? You were putting me on a couch, I said calmly. I found an alternative. You're 17, Dad said. You can't just leave. Actually, she can, Aunt Teresa said from the doorway. I'd asked her to come inside with me. I'm family. I'm offering her a stable home. Unless you want to explain to a judge why you're forcing your daughter to sleep on a couch while her brother gets a bedroom? Dad's jaw clenched. This is our family decision. And this is my decision, I said. I'm going with Aunt Teresa. I'll finish school properly. I'll apply to colleges. I'll build my own future, since you've made it clear you won't help with it. Marcus appeared in the hallway.
Bonnie, come on, don't do this. We can make the apartment work.
Can we, Marcus? Can you give up your bedroom? He hesitated. That's what I thought. Mom's voice was ice. If you walk out that door, don't expect us to welcome you back. Don't expect help later. You're choosing to abandon this family. I'm choosing to not be abandoned, I corrected. There's a difference.
You're being selfish, Dad said. We're in crisis and you're making it worse.
Aunt Teresa stepped forward. No, you're in crisis, and you're sacrificing your daughter to protect your son. That's not parenting. That's cowardice.
Teresa, stay out of this.
I'm taking Bonnie tonight. If you want to maintain any relationship with her, I suggest you think very carefully about what you say next. Mom stood up. She's making her choice. Fine. But when Marcus succeeds and we recover, she doesn't get to come back and claim any of it. She's on her own. I looked at her. Really looked at her. I've been on my own since you sat me down and told me I wasn't worth investing in. I'm just making it official. I walked out with Aunt Teresa. I didn't take much. Clothes, laptop, debate trophies. Everything that mattered to me fit in 2 suitcases. Marcus followed us outside.
Bonnie, I'm sorry. I really am.
No, you're not, I said. You're sorry it's uncomfortable. But you're not sorry enough to speak up. You never were. His face crumpled, but I got in Aunt Teresa's car. I didn't look back at the house. 2 years later, I was home from Northwestern University for winter break, staying with Aunt Teresa. My phone rang. Marcus. What? I answered.
Can we meet? I need to talk to you. About? Just, please, coffee shop on Archer Street? I almost said no, but curiosity won.
30 minutes later, I walked into the coffee shop. Marcus looked terrible. Dark circles, wrinkled clothes. You look rough, I said, sitting down. I dropped out, he said flatly. I blinked. What? I dropped out of Stanford, last semester. The full-ride scholarship Stanford? The one Mom and Dad destroyed my senior year for? He nodded miserably. I couldn't handle it. The pressure. Everyone expecting me to be perfect. I had a breakdown. I'm back home working at a call center. I should have felt vindicated. Instead, I just felt tired. Why are you telling me this? Because Mom and Dad are furious. The house is still underwater. Dad's working 2 jobs, Mom's depressed, and they keep saying if they'd just invested in you instead, maybe you would have made it work. I did make it work, I said coldly. I'm at Northwestern on academic scholarships and debate awards. The debate they said was worthless? It got me a full ride. His face crumpled. I know. I've seen your Instagram. You're thriving. And I ruined everything they sacrificed for. They didn't sacrifice for you. They sacrificed me. There's a difference. They want to see you. They've been asking me to reach out. They want to apologize. No. Bonnie, they're your parents. They were my parents when they chose you over me. They were my parents when they put me on a couch. They were my parents when Mom told me not to come back. They stopped being my parents when it counted. They made a mistake. They made a choice, a calculated, deliberate choice. And now that it didn't work out, they want me back? That's not parenting. That's hedging bets. Marcus's voice broke. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I should have said something. I should have fought for you. Yes, you should have, when you were 17 and it mattered. Can't we fix this? There's nothing to fix, Marcus. You all chose your path. I chose mine. Mine worked out. Yours didn't. That's just how it is. Mom's been crying every night. Dad drinks now. They know they messed up. And what do you want me to do about that? I want you to come home. Talk to them. Give them a chance to make it right. I stood up. I am home, with Aunt Teresa, where I've been for 2 years while you all lived your lives without me. I have a family. It's just not the one I was born into. Please, Bonnie, they're falling apart. They fell apart 2 years ago. They just didn't notice because they were too busy betting everything on you. I grabbed my coat. Tell them I'm doing great. Tell them Northwestern is amazing. Tell them my debate team is nationally ranked. Tell them I don't need their apology or their guilt or their second chance. That's it? You're just done with us? You were done with me first. I'm just accepting the terms you all set. I walked out. My phone started buzzing immediately. Marcus calling back. Then a number I didn't recognize. Probably Mom or Dad. I blocked them all. Outside, Aunt Teresa was waiting in her car. How'd it go? Exactly how I expected. Marcus dropped out. Parents regret everything. They want me back. And I told him no. I don't forgive them. I don't want their apology. I'm done. She smiled sadly. I'm proud of you. That took strength. They made their choice when they had all the power. I'm making mine now that I have it. We drove back in comfortable silence. My phone kept buzzing with blocked calls. I turned it off. That night, I thought about what Mom said 2 years ago, that if I left, I shouldn't expect to come back. She was right about one thing. I never wanted to. Sitting in Aunt Teresa's guest room that was always mine, looking at my Northwestern acceptance letter framed on the wall, I had one question running through my mind. When your family treats you like a backup plan and their first choice fails, do you owe them the second chance they never gave you?